Hey, everybody. I can't believe NaNoWriMo's over. I feel like it went by so fast. I wasn't ready to have it end, but at the same time, it just felt so wonderful to complete something and feel good about it. But today, and I can't believe that we're already here, and I'm already filming this video. Today, I'm gonna share all of the journals and planners that I have planned for 2020. Now, some of these you guys will recognize from last year. I do want to say that last year's video, I think I only used 2 of the items that I showed because I went back to my traditional tried and true composition notebooks and passion planner. And so I've stuck with that. Everybody will be glad to hear that if it's not broken, don't fix it. So this year I've returned to the passion planner and my composition notebooks, but with more excitement. Okay, so here's my pile of things. They're not all journals or planners, so let me just start there. This one everybody has seen. I'll start with this and we'll move through them. Now there is one that, if you guys remember, I kind of kept it a little bit of a secret, and I'm still doing that this time around, but I will do a full video after Christmas showing you and telling you all about that specific journal. So keep that in mind, because I know I'm going to get a lot of questions about that. This is my homeschool bullet journal. I've been in here since 2017. And once again, I'll be in this bullet journal until my son graduates, and he is starting 10th grade, 11th grade. The thing with homeschooling is I never remember what grade my kids are in. My daughter is graduating this year, so I will just have my son, but I'll be pulling this out to plan his new school year come this summer, basically. I'll be diving into this for his curriculum. So that stays. This is the secret project that everyone wants to know more details on. I did move it from I had it in a camel Midori, and so I moved out of the camel. I actually sold that. And this is a Chic Sparrow creme brulee, and I love it. It's honestly one of my favorite Chic Sparrow leathers. So I will be sharing more about that after Christmas, because it's like a secret project I'm doing. Okay, I guess we'll stick with journals, and then I'll move into some of my other tools. Okay, I'm so excited to show you guys these. Oh my goodness. Okay, so my heart's like beating so fast because I'm so excited. Everyone knows I'm addicted to composition notebooks, and I journal seasonally. So I have one, like I'm actually starting my winter one in December, and it'll run December, January, and February. Then my spring will be March, April, and May, and so forth. So I have 4 composition notebooks that are already set aside and planned for each season, but it gets better because Cynthia Lee, I will post her website down below. She's an artist, and she paints portals. I mean, she paints a bunch of other stuff, but she is like the portal goddess. And so she painted 4 notebooks for me based around the seasons. You guys. Okay, let me just show you. So front and back portal. Hello, isn't that gorgeous? Okay, so there's one. I believe this is going to be the one I'm going to use for winter because it reminds me of snow. I did struggle. I'm like, there were 2 that I was thinking, but because this also reminds me a little bit of water, but the snowy feel is much more winter to me. So this is winter. Then there's spring. Look at those colors. Look how pretty. Oh my goodness. Gorgeous. You know what? Maybe I have that. Do I have that backwards? Yeah. Winter, spring, and then summer. Like how pretty. This was the one that I couldn't decide. Like, do I want this one or the other one for winter? But I do feel like this is much more summer, especially like with the oranges and yeah. And then look at this fall. Look at this one. Look how pretty this is. You guys, okay, and I am definitely a College Ruled fan, so I sent her a message and said I would like 4 College Ruled, and she just did such an amazing job. I'm so in love with them. I cannot wait to fill them and do flip throughs and all of that. So those are coming in 2020. Okay, so those are gonna be my morning mindset pages. Now, the next piece of item purchase that I got, which I'm also excited about. I just realized I didn't put any earrings on. Passion planner. You know what? Let me take it out of this. I went with the Mighty Yellow because yellow is like my color, especially this mustardy yellow. I'm definitely all about the earth tones. And it's just so pretty. Let me take this off so you can see the actual. If you guys are into passion planners, I'm sure you've probably already seen this and the artwork on the front, but isn't it beautiful? It's beautiful. And I've already chosen a word for 2020, which all of these go perfect with, especially the portals. 2020, my word is awakening, and it's all about rising and opening. So because I choose a hashtag to go with my word, and my hashtag is rise and open. And that was inspired by a Mary Oliver poem, which if you guys are interested, I'll do a whole word of the year video. If you're interested in seeing that. I did do one with Christine at Art Lockdown a couple years ago. I'll find that and link it down below because we talk about why we chose our words and why we choose a word. So if you guys are interested, I'll add that down below. But this is just so pretty, and I felt like the yellow just went so well with the goals and dreams I have for 2020. So I'll be working in that, but alongside that, some of the tools that I'll be using with my journaling practice and my planning, I picked up these 2 planners. This one is the Wee Moon 2020, and it's the wake up call. So it was perfect. They change the focus every year, evidently. I've never had this planner before, but it's Rhythms for Women. And it is a planner, like it does have like a weekly, but there's poetry and there's artwork in it. It goes through the different cycles of the moon and the different seasons and meanings. And I mean, look, there's like so much information in this. So I'm excited to use this. Look at this artwork. Look how beautiful that is. I'm super excited to use this and the artwork and learning all about the moon and astrology and all those other witchy type things. So, I mean, look at that artwork. Look how beautiful. I'm so excited. So I got this, and then I got Llewellyn's 2020 Magical Almanac for the same reason. Once again, this is my planner. I will be doing this, like this is my personal work, everything. Basically, I call it my yearbook because I'll add in notes from books I read. Like it'll hold everything. These will be tools that I use alongside my journaling and planning. And in here, there's lots of rituals, talks about spiritual stuff, how you can be a servant to your community. It's got some shaman things and animal totem stuff. It also has information about the moon and the moon, the different moon cycles and when it's happening. It's also got some poetry. So I'm using these to learn more and develop my spiritual practices and things a little more, but also for the artwork and the poetry and all of that. I will probably end up like tearing things out and sticking them in my journal or in my planner. Alongside that, and I know this is probably gonna like be way out there for some of you, But Cynthia, the artist that creates these journals, we meet up every couple of months, and in our last meeting, we got talking about our words and different practices and things that we're learning and things we're curious about. And so I mentioned that I was curious about tarot and oracle cards because she's been studying them for the past couple of years, and she inspired me to pick out a deck and spend a year with it, like really sit with it. And so I picked out a tarot deck, and I know that may put some of you off. But I'm just excited to look at the artwork, to journal through it, to read the messages that a card, because I'll just be doing one at a time, that a card might have for me and how it might apply to my life. I see this in similar ways that I do poetry. You know, when I read a poem, I think about it and ponder it and see how it relates to my life in that moment. Just like with the moon cycles and seasons and all of that. So this is the deck I chose, or the deck that chose me. The reason that I went with this, or one of the biggest reasons, is I've really felt a pull toward Raven. It first came to me, I was reading a book by Pixie Lighthorse called Prayers of Honoring Voice, because this year is all about voice for me, finding my voice, stepping into my voice, rising up and opening and just healing that throat chakra. And because I have a lot of stuff I'm still dealing with around that, but the cover of that book has a raven on it. And when I signed up for her newsletter, she sent a free guide, or a free soul journey with Raven, and it was all around voice again. And so then when I saw this, when I went walking like Cynthia had suggested, looking for a deck that really called out to me, I saw the Raven and I knew that it had to come home with me. But there's another thing that I want to mention about this. Okay, Maggie Stiefvater, I think is how you say her name, Stiefvater, The Raven's Prophecy. I got this, and the artwork is gorgeous. It's very simple, so great for me as like a beginner. The book is hefty that comes with it, but she's an author. She writes fiction, and she's got a series called The Raven Cycle that I'm excited to read. But my daughters have read a lot of her fiction and love her. She's one of my oldest daughter's favorites. And so it was really cool because the way that she does her tarot is very story driven. And so from what I've learned and what I've read about her deck is it's very much focused for those who love story. And so I'm so excited. I'm so excited about this. What Cynthia suggested I do, since I'm totally a beginner, is to choose a card a day or a card a week. And the first thing is to journal everything I see, like as it is, that the card has on it. And then to look at it and try to come up with, okay, how does it make me feel? What message am I getting just from the card? And then pull out the book and see the correlation between the two. So I'm excited to do that. I'll be diving into that in December, actually. All right, one other thing I have for my passion planner, I need to do an actual video of this. I was using, if you guys remember, I was using the friction pens, but I had heard that if you leave it in a hot car, that the friction ink will sometimes actually disappear, and that if it happens, you can put it in the freezer, and some of it might reappear. And that kind of freaked me out, because the idea, like, these planners end up being like a journal to me. They hold so many memories, and so I got like fearful about it disappearing, and then I was like, that's not true. Well, my son brings out, because they use friction pens in their schoolwork, and he brings out a lighter and a piece of paper and a pen the friction pen, and I'll have him do this if you guys are interested. I'll have him come on and do a little demonstration. But he drew a little picture, took the lighter, put it to the paper, and I kid you not, it disappeared. The drawing that he did disappeared. He put it in the freezer. He put the piece of paper in the freezer, and it came back up, but not nearly as dark. You could still tell like what it was, but it was very, very light. And so I decided I wasn't going to be doing that. I wasn't going to be using the friction pens anymore, just because I just don't want to lose the stuff that I write. Now, the friction markers, because I do highlight different events and things, I'll use those, but then I'm going to use these, which I purchased a while ago, so I did not have to repurchase these. I think I got them on Amazon. I got a box of these Sarasa Clip 0.3, I think this is the blue-black pens, and I've been using this ever since he showed me that little tutorial, or that little demonstration. So I have 4 of them for 2020. I will probably need to purchase some more, because as you can see, this was a set of 10, and I'm on my 5th one right now. So yeah, so I'll be using this pen in my Passion Planner and the friction markers to do all of my planning and things. All right, I think that is everything. And once again, I will come back on after Christmas and talk more about this thing. If you guys have any other questions or requests, let me know. Let me know what you're using. Let me know what journals you're using, what planners. I love hearing about all the things. Yeah, okay, I will talk with you guys next week. Ooh, yeah, next week I actually have them here. I have a whole bag full, because I know some of you have asked me if I'm still using the same pens, like trying to get through my pens. I've got a whole bag full of my fall stationery empties. So that video is coming next week. So stay tuned.